It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. We'll be fine, we'll be fine, we'll be fine.
Hey guys, quick question.
What are we talking about?
What would you do if the children you were raising could turn into wolves at any moment?
Is this real?
Sounds like a bizarre episode of Supernanny, right?
Time out, Joey!
But instead of a timeout, it's furs, fangs, and chaos. Welcome to the life of Hana in Wolf Children. This isn't just another family drama with a sprinkle of fantasy. Wolf Children takes you on a heartfelt journey filled with love, loss, and the messy, unpredictable beauty of parenthood. The story follows Hana, who falls in love with a man who is literally a wolf. Like, no metaphors here.
Oh, God! Oh, God!
They start a family, and soon Hana is juggling life with two hybrid children, Yuki and Ame, who can switch between human and wolf form at will. Things seem manageable until tragedy strikes when Hana's wolfman partner dies, leaving her alone to raise two children that don't exactly follow the typical how to raise kids manual. What could go wrong when you mix unpredictable wolf instincts with the chaos of motherhood?
Single mother?
Oh right,
Everything.
with no guide on raising part wolf children, Hana moves her family to the countryside, hoping that a quieter life might give Yuki and Ame the space to figure out their identity. Human, wolf, or something in between.
これからどうしたい？人間か狼か。
Hana is more than your average single mom trying to make ends meet. She's basically the emotional backbone of the film, holding everything together with duct tape, sheer willpower, and more than a little exhaustion. While anyone else would be sweating bullets trying to raise wolf children in a world that's not exactly wolf-friendly, Hana doesn't even blink. She adapts, she endures, she's a silent warrior. Think less superhero cape and more apron and resolve made of steel. Imagine your daily worries as a parent, keeping your kids safe, fed, and out of trouble. Now add wolf form into the mix, and you've got Hana's life. But what makes her so incredible isn't just her resilience, it's how she chooses love and patience over panic. Even when her children tear through their clothes, literally, or try to hunt animals in the backyard, parenting level expert, Hana's journey is all about finding out how to love her children as they are while guiding them through the complexities of life. And that's what makes her a hero in the most relatable, down-to-earth way possible.
We had a competition to decide who was the superest mom in the world, and you won!
And then there's Yuki and Ame, the wolf children themselves, who take entirely different paths as they grow up. Yuki, well, she's a furry tornado from day one, tearing through the house with boundless energy. She loves her wolf instincts, and at first, she doesn't care about blending in with the human world. But as she grows older, she realizes that maybe running wild through the forest isn't exactly gonna help her fit in at school. So, she chooses to embrace her human side.
She must know what she's doing.
これからはなるべくおしとやかに女の子らしく振る舞おうと。
Ame? Total opposite. He starts off quiet, scared, and unsure about his wolf identity. You'd expect him to stay the timid one, right?
Wrong.
Ame's journey takes an unexpected turn as he grows more comfortable with his wolf nature, eventually feeling the pull of the wild. While Yuki learns to embrace her humanity, Ame discovers his place in the wilderness. Yuki's that kid in class who's full of energy but secretly wants to fit in with the popular group. Ame, he's the introvert who's one step away from skipping school to live in the wild, full Tarzan mode. And honestly, who could blame him? Yuki's like a sugar rush wrapped in fur, full of reckless enthusiasm, but beneath that is her deep desire to belong. Her character arc is both heartbreaking and heartwarming. Imagine trying to live a double life, half human, half wolf, and hoping your classmates don't notice. It's like trying to hide your superpower while also wanting to show off just a little bit. Ame's arc is the opposite. He's the quiet kid in the corner, the one you think won't make a peep. Then, suddenly, he's embracing the wild, leading the pack, and owning it in full-on wolf mode. At first, he's terrified of his wolf side, but as he grows, it's like watching the quiet guy at work suddenly take over the boardroom. Unexpected, but oddly satisfying. Let's spotlight some of the other standout characters in Wolf Children, who, while not as prominent as Hana, Yuki, and Ame, still pack a punch in this story. First up, we have the elusive Wolfman, Hana's partner and the father of Yuki and Ame. He's mysterious, but let's be real, his role is like a match that ignites everything before tragically burning out. He's there for a hot minute, just long enough to kickstart the drama, before literally diving into the plot twist river. His love for Hana is quiet but intense, and his identity crisis as both man and wolf mirrors the journey his children later take. His sudden death might seem out of nowhere, like, "Hey, you're drowning in the river, you're drowning!" Really? Drowning in a river? But it adds this level of heartbreak that lingers throughout the whole movie. Without him, Hana's struggle feels even more isolating, because he was the only one who could truly understand the complexity of their children's lives. Then there's Ji-san, the gruff old man who's basically a walking embodiment of the line, "Get off my lawn!" At first, he seems like he's just going to be a cranky old obstacle, but surprise, he ends up being one of Hana's biggest allies. Think of him as a grumpy neighbor who's one step away from shaking a broom at you, but ends up being a lifesaver when things get tough. He doesn't sugarcoat anything, which, of course, I loved. And his tough love approach actually helps Hana toughen up and become more self-sufficient. His grumpiness hides a heart of gold, and his wisdom, though served with a side of sarcasm, proves invaluable. Like, who would have thought the guy grumbling about city folk would be the one to teach Hana how to farm, right? Lastly, there's Sohei, Yuki's classmate, who totally rocks the whole cool yet kinda clueless vibe. He's the laid-back dude who rolls with the punches, even when those punches come with claws. He's one of the few who gets close to Yuki and, unintentionally, becomes part of her journey of self-acceptance. Plus, he's a champ for handling the fact that his friend can literally turn into a wolf mid-argument. These side characters may not steal the spotlight, but they definitely add layers to Wolf Children, making the emotional landscape even richer. One of the most gut-wrenching scenes in Wolf Children is when Hana has to let Ame go.
してしまうの。
Nothing says parenting win like chasing your wolf child through a storm, only to realize mid-downpour, yeah, maybe being a lone wolf is his thing. I mean, the worst part? You know it's the right thing to do, even though it's tearing you apart. This moment isn't just about loss, it's about accepting that sometimes, as parents or even as friends, we have to let people go so they can grow into what they're meant to be. And Hana does it with heartbreaking grace. Because what's harder than losing someone? Knowing that letting them go, yeesh, is the right choice. As Hana chases after Ame into that storm, we're left wondering, will she find him, will he come back, or has he chosen the wilderness for good? And while we're still reeling from all that, we realize her journey of letting go has really only just begun. The contrast between Yuki and Ame's relationship with nature reflects their internal struggles. For Yuki, the forest becomes a place of childhood freedom, but as she matures, it also becomes a reminder of the part of herself she's leaving behind. For Ame, it's the opposite. The wild represents his future and his true self. Now, the landscapes in Wolf Children are not just beautiful. They're mirrors of the characters' emotional journeys. It's not just a backdrop. It's like the emotional soundtrack to their lives, capturing every change and choice. As Yuki steps away from the wilderness, she becomes more entrenched in human society, while Ame embraces the forest as a part of his identity. Hana thought moving to the countryside would be the solution to all her problems, turns out trading the city for more trees just means more places for wolf kids to run wild and cause chaos. It's like trying to solve one problem and accidentally creating 5 more. But hey, at least there's a beautiful mountain view while you're doing it, eh? Through all of this, Hana remains unflinchingly strong. She doesn't give up when things get hard. If anything, she doubles down. While anyone else, including me, would have tapped out, Hana just keeps going. Why? Because wrangling 2 part-time wolves is just another day in the life for her. Seriously though, if you thought your job was stressful, try surviving a court full of poisonous politics, or in Hana's case, try wrangling 2 wolf kids while also managing to stay sane. She'd probably tell you your 9 to 5 is a walk in the park compared to hers. Now, why is Wolf Children such a banger of a movie?
Well, tell us, please.
Let's break it down. Because this film doesn't just check the boxes of good anime, it smashes straight through them. First off, the animation. Perfect doesn't even begin to cover it. It's the kind of beautiful that makes you want to drop everything, move to the countryside, and raise some half-wolf children yourself. Minus the tragic werewolf partner drowning scenario, of course. From the sweeping landscapes to the tender moments of her family growing together, the way nature is portrayed in this film is breathtaking. Watching the seasons change alongside the family's struggles makes everything feel serene and cyclical. There's something just so peaceful about seeing them growing through these natural rhythms. But seriously, the soundtrack? I mean, it's one of those sneaky scores that creeps up on you and suddenly makes you all emotional without even noticing. I mean, 1 second, yeah, I'm just chilling, enjoying a cute scene where Yuki's playing in the snow, and next, boom, you're tearing up, wondering why a simple melody can hit you so hard. It's the kind of music that doesn't just accompany the movie, it becomes part of the emotional experience. Let's talk about why this movie feels so real, even with the whole werewolf children element. Yeah, sure, none of us are raising wolf kids, but the struggles Hana faces as a single mother, those hit different. They're universal. Wolf Children isn't just about raising 2 kids who howl at the moon, it's about raising any kids, dealing with the challenges of parenthood and the sacrifices that come with it. Hana's quiet strength, her perseverance, and the unconditional love that she shows for Yuki and Ame, I mean, wow. That's something every parent or anyone who's ever responsible for others can relate to. It's about trying to balance protecting your kids and letting them grow up and find their own path. The identity crisis that Yuki and Ame go through, well, I mean, we've all been there. Yuki's journey is all about wanting to fit in, trying to hide parts of herself to blend into the world around her, and Ame, he goes the other way. Diving headfirst into his wolf identity, embracing the part of himself that's wild and untamed. Both journeys are about self-discovery, and whether you're a human or a wolf, I mean, we've all had to figure out where we belong at some point in our lives. It's a coming-of-age story at its core, it's just wrapped up in some beautiful fantasy setting. If you're not into Wolf Children yet, seriously, what are you even doing with your life? This movie is peak anime greatness, blending stunning animation, a killer soundtrack, and a story that's gonna make you feel everything. Whether you're someone who loves deep emotional narratives, cute wolf kids, or just want to watch a mom low-key crush the single parenting game, Wolf Children delivers on every level. And trust me, it's not all heavy emotional moments either. There's plenty of humor to balance it out. Like, I mean, remember when Yuki accidentally terrifies her classmates by turning into a wolf mid-argument? Classic! Or when Ame decides that school is officially a waste of time and pulls off a Tarzan, running off into the wilderness. I mean, you can't help but laugh. These moments bring humor to the story, giving us a break from the emotional intensity without taking away from the film's depth. It's that balance of feels and fun that makes Wolf Children so rewatchable. The humor is subtle but necessary. It reminds us that life even in a fantasy world, has moments of absurdity, laughter, and chaos. But don't get it twisted, this movie's still gonna wreck you emotionally. It's not just about a mother struggling with her kid's wolfy nature, it's about love, sacrifice, and letting go when the time comes. Hana's journey is one of quiet heroism. She's not saving the world from some grand evil, but she's doing something just as difficult. She's raising two children who are torn between two identities. She's guiding them through their struggles without ever asking for anything in return. And that's what makes her story so powerful. So, if you're in the mood for a movie that'll make you cry, laugh, and maybe even contemplate moving into the wilderness to find some inner peace, Wolf Children is where it's at! The film balances everything perfectly: the breathtaking animation, the subtle yet emotional soundtrack, and a story that's gonna stick with you long after the credits roll. It's not just about wolves or children, it's about family, love, and the tough choices we all face. Trust me, you won't regret watching it. Just keep some tissues handy for when the feels hit. Catch you next time.